Welcome back to Nick Lenz, Comic Corner Classic / Non Classics. This is episode number 22. 2273, Doubleshot number 2167. Now we have two digital trades here. First from Apollo, down from their website. So, first up, we have the final trade of Geoff Johns' run for Green Lantern in Brightest Day Green Lantern, collecting issues 52 to 60. Yep, it's a 9-part story all about the new Guardians, with a backup story about Daxstar. Yeah, it's an origin story of how he became a Red Lantern. It's basically like he was a house cat originally. His owner was nice to him, and then, of course, she died by being killed by a killer rapist. That he becomes basically Red Lantern, presumably got his revenge, and that's it. The arc for that was by Sean Davis. It's one of the most oddest ones I've read. Yes, it goes 6-2, excuse me. Because, of course, in case you're curious, though, what happened after the story wrapped up? Why, it was a story known as War of the Green Lanterns. No, that's not a joke. That seriously was the very next story. It's weird that we have two trades in a row where it collects 10 straight issues. The previous trade did the same thing, and this one's the same way, too. So most about New Guardians, a lot of it focuses on the New Guardians themselves, which we have Hal Jordan, Lar Flees, Indigo One, St. Walker, Atrocitus, Carol Ferris, not Danvers, Hal Jordan, and Sinestro. Yeah, these are your New Guardians. That's simple what they are. Yeah, basically the representatives for all the Lantern Corps. And first part of this, a lot of this is focused on Hector Hammond, and also there's also focus here on, well, finding the space bugs. Ion, Parallax, Predator, Butcher, Parallax, basically finding all of them. That's mostly the plot of these issues here. We also have a subplot. You have Lar Flees going after Lex Luthor because he wants power. Yes, Lex Luthor. Yeah, so we lose tie into what happened in the pages of Action Comics this period of time. Yes, Action Comics. We have Barry here. At one point, Barry gets possessed by Parallax. Yeah, Guy Gardner here. So, yeah, that's basically the premise of the story. It's a really awesome story. We also kind of follow what happened in Blackest Night with the White Lantern power battery. Who ends up gets it by now. And we see sets for stuff we see in Brightest Day and a few other books. We see revived Aquaman. We also see the Predator, which is basically the one for Star Sapphire. Ophidian. I think that's for... Yeah, that's for the Orange Lantern. Aurora, that's for Blue Lanterns. Parasite, that's Indigo. Butcher, obviously, Red Lanterns. Parallax is obviously for Yellow Lanterns. And Ion is for Green Lanterns. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and also we have guest appearance here by, of all people, Lobo. Because I'm sure Geoff Johns wanted to have Lobo show up in the book. That was Doug Mankey's idea. That would have been interesting if it was Doug Mankey's idea. And plus the appearance here by, of all people, Crispus Allen the Spectre. Who would have thought he would show up here? Oh yeah, we also have this really cool moment here. We have Lobo versus Atrocitus. Thank you, Geoff Johns, for giving this really awesome moment. Oh yeah, and also seeing Lobo versus Sinestro. That's cool. And then being trapped by Star Sapphire. Then him whispering something to Carol, and then her punching him for it. Yeah, I bet he probably said to her that he probably wanted to sleep with her. She's like, nope. There's also a thing in here Carol calls on here because something Geoff Johns was doing at the time, where Hal was not dating Carol during this book. Nope, he was dating a woman named Cowgirl. That was a code name. Her name is Jill. Yes, that was basically his girlfriend of this entire book. She didn't appear very much, but she was a recurring character in this book. And after this book wrapped up, this volume, she was never seen again until The Green Lantern Season 1 by Grant Morrison. Yeah, that was the next time she appeared. Yeah, so a lot of focus on Hector Hammond. Not that much of the Black Lanterns per se, though we do see a briefly Black Hand with the Indigo Tribe. That's actually set up for the very next story arc and what happened afterwards. Yep. Hector Hammond's interesting, where he gets basically like this, where he just is kind of like a focus of the story. Yes. Hector Hammond. Oh yeah, he gets briefly possessed by the entity from the Orange Lanterns. Predator gets possessed by a guy who Carol frees by kissing him. Parallax possesses, well, Barry. But what about Butcher? Who does he end up possessing? Oh, then we have, let's see. It's all about getting these entities where they possess people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then we have Blue Lantern possessing this random woman for an issue. Yep. Yeah, Barry's here because Geoff Johns was writing the Green Lantern, was writing the Flash book at this point in time. And here's Black Hand, a member of the Indigo Tribe, despite the fact he's a Black Lantern. Yeah, that was something Hal Jordan did to him as a punishment for Blackest Night. Yeah. Yeah, and here's a really cool moment. Here's a really cool moment where Parallax possesses Barry Allen. I'm like, that's an interesting idea. Like, he's already possessed Hal. He's just never possessed God, but he did possess Kyle. Mm-hmm. And the person behind this is, in fact, Crota. Yes, they've heard him as the Renegade Guardian. Yes, the very same guy who, if you're not familiar with this guy, this is the guy who sent the Manhunters to kill Atrocitus' race. Yep. Oh yeah, Butcher possesses a guy who's about to be executed. Yep. That's who Butcher's possessing. And in the finale for this thing, we see guest star appearance in this book by the Justice League. Yeah, and by the way, we see, well, mostly just Batman in his Batman Incorporated costume, Barry Allen, and Superman. Yep. And they all leave, and of course, not seen again for a while. Yeah, but this book is awesome. I give this book a 10 out of 10. Yep. And now for my final thoughts on Geoff Johns' run on Green Lantern. Because with that, that's it. Because I've already reviewed what happened next, which was basically What Are Green Lanterns, and of course, first 20 issues of Green Lantern Volume 5. Yep. This is by far a really amazing run. And I do recommend it because it is just that damn good. Excuse me. It's one of those runs where not a single bad issue. It started off with Green Lantern Rebirth. Rebirth, which later we later have the Green Lantern Core book, which Geoff Johns did not write that book, which I reviewed portions of that book, but not the whole thing. Oh, and also, like, this run started back, I think it was like 2004, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was like 05, excuse me, yes. So it started in July of 2005. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was May 2005. Now, if you're curious, though, you could say that basically before this, we had the 6-issue miniseries Green Lantern Rebirth. Not the Volume 2 one. That's a completely different book altogether. Mm-hmm. So, you could say with this book, I reviewed from 2005 the present for Green Lantern. Yeah, definitely. Here's a little fun fact. Did you know between the final issue, the previous volume, which was issue 181, which was released in September of 2004, and Green Lantern Reborn was released in October. Like 1 month later, we had this issue. So, yeah. So Geoff Johns' run is done, but I'm not done reviewing Green Lanterns yet. So, like everything from 2005 forward, I have fully reviewed for Green Lantern. So, If you want to see reviews of other stuff for Green Lantern, probably the more recent stuff, if anything is collected in trade, or probably one of the older trades. My guess is probably either Volume 2 or 3, because Volume 1, they only had the first 5 issues in trade at 38. Me. Alright, next up we have is Fantastic Four Epic Collection, Volume 20, Into the Time Stream. Yep, written by Walt Simon's, all but one issue of this book. Yep, we have from Fantastic Four, 334, the 346, and 23, and material from New Mutants number 6, X Factor number 5, and Kenny X-Men Annual number 14. The annuals, not going to discuss them because that's part of the future present. I've kind of discussed already. And 334 to 336, I've already discussed those 3 issues already because that's the Acts of Vengeance issues. If you're curious, the whole, by the way, this whole time period covers the period of, let's see, from December 1989 to November 1990. So basically about 1 year worth of storytelling. Yep, 1 year worth of comics. Ben Grimm was not the Thing at this point in time. It was Sharon, who was Miss Thing. Or She Thing, as she's called. Yeah. So actually, yeah, it starts with 337, which is where the cover comes in. Yeah, there's actually one issue Will Simonson skips. Yeah, he skipped one issue in here. But mostly put he writes and draws all these issues. Mostly put we're just trying to deal with Johnny Storm's condition. There's a little bit of time traveling in here. But it's a lot of really cool stuff here. Probably the best thing about this book is the artwork. Yeah, the artwork by Walt Simonson, because it is just really good. I love how he draws all the technology here. We also get some appearance by Death's Head. You're both thinking, Death's Head. Who the heck is that? From what I've heard about this guy, he was a character who first appeared in an issue of Marvel's Doctor Who comic book, who was associated with Transformers. But apparently Doctor Who first, so Marvel can keep him. Because anything that popped up in Transformers, that is the property of Hasbro, not Marvel, though with the exception of one character, it took it basically, it's weird, one character. So, you have Kang here, with Iron Man and Thor, because of course Thor appears here, because, well, Walt Simonson wrote Thor, so of course basically you have Thor pop in this book. Yeah. Also with a Shi'ar, and of course stuff with Galactus. A lot of really fun stuff here. It's a little bit of stuff in Humans as well. But that's the whole point of this thing, basically going into the time stream. And of course you have a guest appearance by Spider-Man, which you might be curious still, did Walt Simonson write any Spider-Man comics? Not that I can think of. I've never heard of him actually writing Spider-Man comics. If he did, I don't know. So, and of course, Johnny Storm could be recovering from his condition from the previous issue. His powers from not exactly like Charlie was recently. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff for this book. Basically a lot of time travel stuff with some guest appearance by Doctor Doom, but just really fun book. And I'm going to get the book a 10 out of 10. Okay, so that's episode of you. Next, that's going to be, my smartphone. Okay, next view. Bye.